if I could show you one word that could ruin the entirety of your life within a span of seconds? Boom! Did I scare you? This single word right here rules the entirety of our livelihoods and can instantly stop your career, family, friendships, and perspective online. But the thing is, it wasn't always like this. No, there was a time where this single word right here was only used in the fight for good online, to take down online bad guys and downright evil people. But the real question for this video is, what happened to the smoother flow of an ecosystem we had online? So let's take it back about, 6 years ago. It's 2017. Fidget spinners have a grasp on everyone, slowly leading to our terrible attention spans. We had some peak albums dropping, and we were also starting to wrap up the edgy eras online where you couldn't just drop slurs and make millions of dollars. And with this happening, at the same time, the Me Too movement started to gain traction online. You had all the most disgusting men in Hollywood getting exposed left and right for the creeps everyone knew they were. Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, R. Kelly, each one by one getting exposed daily and being packed, which I think is an example of the good part of cancel culture. To me, this was its peak right here. Like, I don't know anyone in good God's name who's gonna protest and argue that Bill Cosby or R. Kelly didn't deserve to get canceled, except Bill Cosby or R. fucking Kelly. And when this started to happen, people slowly started to realize that, damn, we can really pack people out of here like this and take them out for good online? So I don't know how and in what way, but it slowly started to become more and more popular to cancel people online no matter their following. Instead of just the celebrities of this world getting shit thrown at them for what they say, now your 80-year-old granddad dying of cancer could get canceled because a joke he made in the 60s on how he hates the typical average worker was now at a risk. And you guys can already guess it, but the #1 platform we can put this blame on is none other than Twitter. Oh, sorry, wrong app. None other than Twitter. This was Twitter's holy grail. Twitter's gate into a solid thing to hold on to where everyone could point at it and be like, that's definitely a Twitter thing. And when the unhappy, no-life, pathetic, miserable, despondent, utter trash accounts on Twitter saw that the canceling thing low-key works, they thought, hey, wait a minute, wait a second, let's milk the out of this until we can. Which is where I think canceling started to switch from a good force to a bad force. You had all these goddamn stan accounts and fan accounts and absolute dick ride accounts getting anybody trending with the hashtag ending in is over party. Now for y'all that aren't chronically online and don't know what a is over party means, to quote it, it's cataloging the criticism of a particular subject, usually a celebrity or public figure known colloquially as a cancellation. And if you don't understand it like that, let me give you some visual representation. Just getting ruthlessly bashed online by people over and over and over again. And honestly, some people don't even be caring what the cancellation is actually about. It's like that crowd effect where some people just join the riot because they're bored. And half the time it starts from some unofficial source nobody knows and it spreads like the plague. I think a perfect representation is that childhood whisper game where the word spreads so much that it's not even the actual word at the end. Like, you know, misinformation is bad on the app when they had to add a personal system to stop it. And there was a certain point where damn near every celebrity to YouTuber to micro online content creator was getting canceled like this. If you weren't on Twitter at the time, you really wouldn't understand, but name one person with slight influence online and I guarantee they trended with this. Now sure, there's valid times where people actually do deserve that criticism, but more and more would the reasons become stupider and stupider. One of the main ways I think these Twitter fiends up the good of canceling is the digging up of old tweets. When we got to that point, I finally started to realize what being chronically online actually is. Like, I didn't know what it was before that. I still can't fathom the thought that some people think whoever they're watching online is exactly how they are off camera. Breaking down on their knees and having nighttime sob sessions over the fact that their favorite celeb creator just wasn't meant to be. So when they do see something that throws them off, they immediately switch to visceral attack mode. Which is funny because, like, you can't advocate for people to change and grow as a person, then get 10-year-old tweets and be like, oh, that's great, that's cool that you say that, but on an unrelated note, this you on the date of March 17, 2011 at approximately 3:51.12 o'clock, which is when I think the online ecosystem first started to change. It was the first time in history where the people watching had the power to take down the person at their own will. But out of any of the social media apps we have out there to give this power to, we gave it to Twitter. Yeah, not the best decision. But another thing I think ruined canceling is what I like to call the uprise of the phobic. The amount of times phobic is thrown at people online with zero reason why is one of the most annoying things in the world to me. Like, there was a certain time when people actually called someone who was phobic of something phobic. But now it's sadly to the point where I can't even take it serious 99% of the time. I'm not joking when I say I cannot understand if people are actually being serious when they say it sometimes. Everyone just kind of makes jokes too now, like, huh, you don't like the way that chair feels, you must be chair phobic. You don't like that game you just played, you're definitely game phobic. And when it's to the point where people are saying it ironically, I know it's lost the power it had. It's hard to explain, but it's lost the umph of it over time. I've seen regular ass arguments on Twitter just end with someone calling the other person phobic out of the blue. And when people take a word less serious, they're not gonna believe you as much. You're just gonna have people like, oh brother, here he comes with another one today, which one is it gonna be? The words have been spammed out so much, it's like an instant trigger for people now. And it only makes sense. I mean, there's a reason why in games you can't spam your special move all the time or it would be unfair. Which eventually leads kind of to the space we're in right now. People couldn't control this mass destruction of power in their hand and everyone gets the strays now. You got the most wholesome, amazing creators out there like Mr. Beast being canceled for the dumbest shit ever. As a matter of fact, I guarantee I can find some type of tweet of someone calling Mr. Beast homophobic. Give me a second, please. Well, that didn't take long. Just lobbing these hoes at any person they can see in the spotlight. And I don't know, I feel like because the neglect of this power is starting to hold less and less weight. It might have been the start of the Andrew Tate era. It might have been the start of the alternative platform era. But being edgy is
kinda in again.
Never thought I would say that in a million years again in my life. This huge explosion of saying the most wildest things ever has been creeping back up. You got Andrew Tate, who before and post cancellation has like quintupled his net worth. People like Aiden Ross being canceled and getting a multi-million-dollar deal still. The only person that really hasn't benefited from this is the baby. God rest his career if he had only waited a year or two. The real difference though between the older era and the newer era is that at least the stuff back then was sort of ironic. A lot of it was put in a way where you were supposed to know it's ironic and a joke or at least tell it's not that serious. But with this new era right now, you could
tell it's not a joke.
You got these creators bringing real political things into conversations in the name of edginess. And I know technically these platforms like Kick and Rumble aren't just that thing, but why do I have the odd feeling that if I stop streaming on Twitch and start streaming on Kick.com, some person in my chat is gonna ask me about my opinion on transgender people? Like, nigga, I'm reacting to a video about how deep the ocean is. Leave me alone! It's sort of creating this new generation of edgy kids online, and I think this new spawn is way worse than the last. I could only imagine if my 13-year-old dumbass self was watching videos in this era. I'd be completely mentally destroyed as of now. And the result of this happening is because of the side that already hates this stuff. Funnily enough, y'all in it started this entire separation and boost of it. People got so tired of holding back every single thing they had to say online that one day the floodgates just absolutely bursted open. And I think it also opened up because the way it actually gets treated. I mean, canceling's no jail reform program or something. 99% of the time immediately goes to them losing their entire career and chance of being able to actually survive in life. You got a better chance of bouncing back from a prison sentence than a cancellation. Like, there has to be something else that can be done, right? Maybe we can just give them a stern talking to or move their car down to the yellow section of the chart. But why is it immediately going for the pockets of the person and rooting their everything in the public? There's got to be some different types of ways to handle this, or this is really what Gen Z is going to be known for the future generations. And the reason I'm even saying this is because I still think canceling is necessary online. If canceling just poof didn't exist and it was complete anarchy in the e-streets online, EDP would still be on YouTube with his meat riding fans making money from cameos. James Charles, who's still on YouTube for some reason, would have never fell off and kept making videos with celebrities, and Kanye would still be speaking super nicely about a certain group of people online in this world. But right now we're in an unstable plane that's ready to crash at any point. I don't know if there will ever be a balance, probably not, but the best I can say to y'all watching this is please be the balance. I was debating even making this video, to be honest, because it feels too political for my channel, but I'm just sick of this shit at this point, and I know I'm not the only one. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually, and until next time, I'm out.